Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's your boy 300 Pounder, aka Drew, coming at you with the reassembly video of the 1940 Japanese Arisaka Type 38 bolt action rifle I picked up at the gun show for $100. Today I'm donning my World War II uh, French helmet. Yesterday I bought that Yugoslavian helmet, so um, changing it up a bit because you don't really see a whole lot of French type anything around these parts. But all original minus the crest. But I'm going to turn this camera around and we're going to dive into reassembling and cleaning, then reassemble the Japanese Type 38 rifle. All right, guys. So here we got the rifle taken apart, and what I did was I just took some varnish thinner over the wood. This top hand guard, I probably need to do it again, um, but it was still dark, so I think I'm going to do this one again. But I think the understock here came out pretty good. You can kind of see where it was flaking off. But now, like, I like how this turned out on the bottom, and it's somewhat flush all the way through. But you can kind of still see where the original, like, I guess, gloss or varnish or whatever was at. Couldn't really get it off, but because the stock is pretty much broken, at least this bottom half, we'll probably need to find a nut, because these stocks, I guess, came in two pieces, and that's where they split like that. So I might just look for the bottom piece, or I'll just keep it on the wall, because these Japanese Arisaka rifles only take or you can only shoot Japanese ammo out of it or something like that, where you can't just use whatever. So so what I did was I boiled all the metal components to pull the rust out of it, and honestly, besides just pulling all the rust out of it, it kind of like boils off most of the grease and the gunk and stuff on it, which I'm still going to go over. But you kind of see that you can actually start seeing stuff now. But I didn't boil the other half because, you know, you only have so much pot you can use, but you kind of see the surface rust here and then some surface rust there. But other than that, the original bluing is still on it. So I guess that's cool. So I'm going to start cleaning these smaller components here and start reassembling this. So I'll start the bolt. Here. So probably don't even really need to take a brush to it because the firing pin is in pretty awesome condition. There's not really rust on it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this oil, and what I'm using is the break-free CLP from like the 70s or whatever. So seems to be working pretty good on all this stuff. So we'll just go ahead and wipe this down and then move on to the next piece here. Probably need to get something in there where the spring's at too. So what I'm going to do is take this piece and then put this little, using a soft, fuzzy brush there just so I can get in there. Looks great. Probably don't need to put any oil on that spring there, so that's fine. And I'm not a gunsmithing expert by any means, so don't, just because I'm doing all this stuff, don't say, well, he did it. Well, yeah, I did it, but I'm not an expert, so, you know, if I do something wrong, then it's wrong. Plus, with the condition of this rifle, how I got it, like, I would say it's okay for this purpose because it is in pretty bad shape as far as the stock, but like all the other components are in pretty good condition for being 80 years old or whatever. And then once you clean that, the firing, well, probably get one of these little cloths here and then poke it through, because I'm going to be gone for a little bit, and you know, I would rather clean it, even though I'm sure it's going to be fine, as far as sitting around for a few months. So after I boiled it, that's all the debris and gross that came out of there. So, and the boiling technique, I just came across on YouTube because I was going to do the electrosis, but I don't have really any way to do that. But that's pretty easy to do. Alrighty. So next we are doing, so I probably need to take a brush to this one. So this is the end cap to the bolt. I'm just going to put the oil right on it and then go around that way. Cleaning up pretty nice. Looks like we got serial number like 638, or the last three serial numbers of 638 on this. Might have to get some more Q-tips to get in there. Not super worried about it because I mean it's still pretty like clean in there, so. And this is probably one of the easiest bolts that I've been able to take apart. So you saw you got firing pin, spring, and then your little butt knob here. You just push that in there. And then boom, easy. So, bolt done. So, coolio. Next, I guess I'll just go ahead and these small components need to get brushed. Probably should have wore gloves. I'm not sure if I said that. But whatever. It is what it is. And then I might have to get more abrasive brush in there. Yeah, okay. So this one's a harder bristled brush. Oh yeah, okay. Now, I guess another reason, well, I guess a reason why I started going after some of these old milsurp type weapons is came across Battlefield Curator on YouTube, so you can check out his channel, and he kind of talks over like deals and stuff, and then readiness reviews. That guy, pretty much when I bought that Enfield, I bought it because of his video, and you know, I'll probably start collecting some of these old rifles or whatever. So kind of see some of the rust is kind of coming off, and you can kind of see the silver beyond it, but I'm really just trying to get the surface rust off. I'm not trying to go super deep. But a couple of these, like this one, that's probably going to come right off, but it's not going to be super great. So probably use the hard brush here. But yeah, so I'm actually kind of excited about this rifle because of the Imperial Flower or Imperial Crest or whatever. When they got ground off halfway or partially, that means it was surrendered. So if it was surrendered, means someone from the Japanese army had this rifle at some point. But where was it surrendered at? maybe the serial number will tell me if I look it up. And this serial number is only a 5-digit serial number. So this is, I think the guy that I got it off of said there's only 10,000 or 70,000 of these rifles made in the year that it was made, which I believe it was 1940. So pretty low serial number, but oh yeah, low serial number, but the rifling is still in the barrel, so that's, I know it's gonna shoot, and you're gonna see all the rust that just came off of that one piece. So you kind of see that it's not as brown, and this probably wouldn't have come off without the boiling process, but you can see that it's pitted in there, so it is what it is. And that's the thing is, with some of these old rifles, you may not find a very good one, or a very clean one per se. Let me see. I'm gonna flip this over and then start putting the cleaned parts right there. Okay, got it. This piece, I mean, it's pretty good condition already, so I'm just gonna probably take the light brush here and still gonna have to be this one. But comment in the video if you think that this Type 38 was worth $100 or not. And for all the other Type 38, Type 39, and then I think the Type 30s, if you have one, like, I don't know really a whole lot about this rifle, so if you guys want to help me out or educate me a little bit on these rifles, because again, I don't know anything about it. Is there a site that you can look at the serial number and it'll tell you like what unit it was with? But I do know this is from the Nagoya Arsenal. So, see, surface rust came right off, mostly. So, and I'm pretty sure all these serial numbers are matching right now. So, all matching. Nagoya Arsenal Type 38. So for me, I get it. I don't mind if the serial numbers are mismatched. However, I'm gonna caveat, when it comes to a rifle that I don't have, and I'm really only going just to or only going to buy it just to shoot it, and not really, collect it or whatever, like that M1 Garand that I got, half of the serial numbers don't match. So I'm kind of disappointed with that. but because I'm not going to resell it, really any of these weapons, I'm not really wanting to resell it. But you know, I think they're just cool. So, but yeah, when I do get a rifle that's all matching serial numbers, that's definitely a plus. But I will say with see, all that rust came off of this little piece here. What was I saying? Must have not been that important. Serial numbers matching. I don't quite remember. Well, anyway. So, kind of see. Definitely cleaner. Starting to see some of the Arsenal markings and everything on it. Very cool. This is the bayonet lug piece. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I'm not too particular with matching serial numbers. I know some people are purists for collector's value purposes only, but for me, one, if it's a rifle you don't have and you really want one, do you really care about matching serial numbers or not? I mean, some people are going to say, yeah, I need the matching serial number. Some people like me necessarily may not care. But if people are asking the same price as, or for a unmatched serial number rifle or a firearm in general, you might as well just pay the full price or the same price and get a matching serial number one. But if it's like $300 to $500 cheaper for an unmatched serial number one, I think you're probably safe with going ahead and pulling the trigger on those. Like especially like SKSs and the Russian, Soviet, Federation firearms. They're gonna stop coming in because no one like Russia right now. I don't think anyone really has, but especially the U.S. Like the Russian 7.62 ammo, like whatever is out there on the market, that's it. The U.S. is not importing any more Russian ammo. So at this local gun show, I found 7.62 by 39, so the AK round or the SKS round, for $10 a box. Well, your local gun store has a U.S. made ammo for $22, or if you have if you know a store in your area that all it deals with is ammo and is not a gun store but an ammo store, they're probably going to be cheaper. So local gun store has 7.62 by 39 ammo for $22 a box. So we're looking at $1.20 a round or something. Or dollar and some change per round. The ammo specific store, $11 a box. So like 60 cents a round. That's way cheaper when you can buy 40 rounds of 7.62 by 39 for the same price as one box of 7.62 by 39. And then at the gun show, $10 a box, which was a pretty good deal. I wish I would have bought more because it was Russian ammo, $10 a box, and the guy had a whole table full of them. I ended up buying 5 boxes, serial number 638. So $50, and that guy knew. He's like, yeah, people are grabbing this stuff up because you can't find the ammo no more in Russia and blah 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 blah. Like, thanks, Grandpa. Which he was a nice person, so so yeah. But man, well, actually, if I get this cleaned and assembled, I could probably hit the gun show before it closes. Because I think it closes at 3 today, and it's 1 o'clock now. Yeah, so I didn't do that with the last screw, but got rust on the head. And I'm just using excess oil from the brush. But yeah, like, I'm not necessarily worried about like getting Russian ammo, but maybe the Russian ammo is going to be worth $40 a box in the future because it's Russian ammo and you can't get that stuff no more because of blah 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 and all this stuff. Okay. So now the magazine, well, I guess, and trigger assembly, they did not come with the bottom floor plate or the spring, but turns out those two pieces are pretty expensive already, so it would just be cheaper to buy a whole new magazine trigger assembly deal there. Don't really see a serial number on this piece, but maybe if we clean it off, we'll get it. All right. And I think just brushing off the surface rust shouldn't depreciate the value, and just in my opinion, but cleaning the surface rust off will save the gun in the long term. So to me, yeah, do you want to leave the rust on it because you're planning on reselling it or something? Or do you want to scrape the rust off, make it look nice, and then put it on the wall as a wall hanger because you don't know what to do with it and you can't find Japanese ammo for some reason? Or something like that. You just never know. But to me, I'm like every firearm that I get now, I'm pretty much just going to disassemble it and then clean it because it seems like no one wants to disassemble and clean their firearms anymore. Like, oh yeah, we'll take the brush swab through the barrel and clean the outside of the bolt, and that's it. Which, cool, I mean, you're saving the barrel and you're saving the bolt, but you know, once a year you should probably, well, I don't know, because I'm not a gunsmith. I don't know if taking parts out and reinserting them and all this stuff is going to wear out the stock. Probably, because I think some sport shooters or competition shooters or whatever try not to disassemble their firearms all the way because of some reason. But like some of this old stuff, are you going to take this Arisaka Type 38 to a shoot? I don't know, maybe. But are you going to win anything? I don't know, maybe. So, but, yeah. Okay, so. So magazine well came out pretty nice. Still a little bit of rust right there, but looks okay to me. All right, what we got next? Barrel. Okay, I got the. Actually, let me go and wipe this off. It actually did come with the cleaning rod, so yay. I might look for the for a bayonet too. Just because that was half of the use of the rifle, because you know, in all these movies you see the Japanese charging with their bayonets or whatever. So I don't know. I wonder if their bayonets even left the rifle. So, all right. So next, and the last piece is the barrel. See where all the rust is at, but not really too much like rust altogether. The bluing is still pretty much awesome, but you kind of see it there on the bottom of the barrel. But yeah. Okay. Now there's some pieces that can't really, or I can, but do I want to? No, I'm not going to take off all the pieces because, again, I am not a gunsmith. And I may not know how to put it back together. That is kind of right off. I think the person I bought this from just didn't want to, or didn't know how to fix it, because he may have not seen the potential in this particular rifle. Which is fine. Some people don't. But that just means that's where you're going to get your deals. Ended up buying this Springfield 1911. Same thing. Surface rust, $300 for a Springfield. Even though the value of that's probably like $700. New, but I think there's deals still out there. You just gotta see the potential in what you're getting. So like this rifle, I saw potential. It didn't look that bad minus the stock. But eBay has stocks for $125. So can definitely get a stock for it if I wanted to. The barrel, or this piece, says 707. So maybe the barrel was replaced at some point. And when you're cleaning and you do the boil technique and you have oil all over it, you may see like it's starting to turn brown. Don't even worry about that. I'm sure all you gun people out there know when you're cleaning with the oil is just going to make everything worse until you wipe it off, and then it'll look great. Now, if you're in the military and you try to turn your weapon in a supply, and you basically want to turn it in without any oil on it or in it, because the oil is going to make sure that your supply sergeant will be like, hey, what's this? We got a little bit of debris right there. Go ahead and clean it again. Whoop. Let's go ahead and clean it again. Whoop. Yeah, thanks, Sarge. Got it. But for people thinking about enlisting, don't call it like an army unless you're like an infantry or something. I would avoid saying Sarge. Thanks, Sarge, because apparently it means something. I don't know. Never really looked into it. I remember going through RSP and there was this fat E6, and I said, "Good morning, Sarge."
He said, "What the hell you just called me? You called me a freaking Sarge? I'll show you a Sarge. How about you look it up, Hool?" Like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what you're saying, but yeah. Never did. And that was 9 years ago. So, yeah, I'll show you a freaking Sarge. Yeah, no, you won't. Fat dude. And it's always the fat people that have an attitude. You know? You're just a little old PFC, you just joined, and some fat E6 who doesn't know what running is or a gym starts getting mad at you because you're high speed. Listen here's high speed. Why are we running so fast? We want to make sure everyone can keep up. Who? Like, no, because if you look up Task Force Smith in Korea, that's pretty much the or why the Army has a standardized PT, because the North Koreans pretty much surrounded, I think it was 170, the 172 Infantry Regiment, and I think the 152nd or the 162nd Infantry Regiment got surrounded and pretty much obliterated because they couldn't outrun the opposing force and got surrounded, and I think they got wiped out. So you want to look up Task Force Smith if you want to know why the Army does PT the way it does. But Sergeant Major of the Army Grinston or whatever decided, hey, we're going to do the ACFT and we're not going to grade it until 2026. Whoa. Like, yeah, sure thing, Sergeant Major. Well, Sergeant Major Grinston's not the Sergeant Major in the Army anymore. And now this new Sergeant Major in the Army thinks the ACFT is stupid. And like, hey, we're going to go back to the APFT. Whoa. Whoa. Like, yeah, sure, whatever, Sergeant Major. Whoa. Whoa. Like, that's the stupidest military saying. You got the Marines going rah. I don't know what the Air Force and the Navy does. Aye or something. Army guns, whoa, whoa. We understand, whoa. Yeah, we understand, whoa. Shut up. Oh, another thing. So if you're going to a gun show, I think I said this in my last video about when I got these. If your local gun store is competing with a large gun store, if your local gun show is competing with a large gun show a couple cities away, I think you'll have a better opportunity to get deals, because if no one's buying anything, those vendors is like, man, I only just sold 2 boxes of 9mm. I only sold 1 box of 22 long rifle. Like, maybe you'll be able to get a better deal because everybody's at the larger gun show, and no one's at the local one. So I was going to go to the larger gun show of the two, but there was still ice on the highway, so I ultimately didn't go to the larger one. But the larger one, however, was by a rifle and pistol club, was the host, and their thing is, if you have a booth there, it has to be 80% like Second Amendment or guns or something, because in all honesty, some of these local gun shows, they're turning into like a garage sale, flea market type like deal. that's just my opinion. Is it feels more like a garage sale with people trying to sell shit. Instead of what the purpose of a gun show. So when I recently, I just like if somebody that was at the gun show that was not selling firearms, so like windows or spas or something that isn't even related to Second Amendment at all. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I just tell them, "Yeah, I'm only here for the guns," and then that'll pretty much stop them because we need to bring gun shows back to being about firearms, not flea market, garage sale mentality. Because that, like, who buys windows at a gun show, first of all? Like, honestly, if you buy windows or a spa or, beef jerky or something at a gun show, like, I would not do that because, one, it's hyped up. Two, it's a gun show, not a beef jerky or a windows. Hey, are you a homeowner? Are you looking for insurance? It's none of that. So, yeah, let's commit to not buying anything from those people and just focus on guns and make gun shows about guns again. But old Joe Biden, the number one threat to America right now is the MAGA extremist Republicans. Well, what makes you say that? Like, if you watch the full video of January 6th, like Trump insinuated or incited or whatever, well, did you actually see his video or are you just saying that? Because his whole video says protest peacefully. Well, the extremist mainstream media, all the news, all of them, like Trump said to violate and riot. No, he didn't say any of that. And then he did tell the protesters to go home, but the extremist media won't tell you that. They'll just tell you he incited the violence and we need to take him off the ballot. So there's your fascist, communist, Soviet, like whatever, totalitarian or dictatorship is when your political opponent is taking you off the ballot. Well, in Colorado, do they understand being charged with a crime is different from people's feelings that he should have been charged with a crime? Because apparently it's okay to do it if you're a Democrat, but if you're a Republican or some other opposition, nah, you're an extremist, you need to be put in re-education camps because COVID-19 kills. Well, it seems like everything the left is saying about every other person is what they're doing. So they're the ones that's insinuating riots. They're the ones that's destroying cities. They're the ones that set a bomb off in the U.S. Senate building. I think in 1982 or 1986, it was a female Democrat that blew up the Senate because she wasn't happy. But oh no, that's fine. That's not violence. Violence is when a Republican does it, or a libertarian, or a third party. They're the real menaces to society. Well, like, I don't hate Democrats by any means. They just kind of suck, in all honesty. So you kind of see, this is where the Imperial mark was, that they half ground off, so this one was surrendered at some point. So, not too bad. All right. Next, I am going to run this through the barrel. Clean some of that goop out. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oh, Republican this, Republican that. They're the ones doing it. But don't look at what the Democrats are doing. Otherwise, you're a fascist, extremist, whatever type of word they want to use for the flavor of the day. Because really anything a leftist says, like, oh, you're a fascist, it doesn't really mean anything because they said that so much for everything that the meaning of the word fascist isn't as potent as it was. Like, like a real fascist would be someone that you don't want to like hang around with. Well, now because it got oversaturated with, oh, you're a fascist for watching Fox News. Oh, you're a fascist because you buy guns. You're a fascist because you don't agree with someone. But heaven forbid that you call leftists a fascist, who the ones that are trying to ban people from running from office. And, you know, all this stuff. So the barrel wasn't that bad. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lube on there and run it through again. And then it'll be ready to put back together. I just want to make sure real quick. Okay. All right. Let's put this thing back together. Now, like I said, I'm probably going to redo the this piece because it's still darker than what I wanted it to be. But maybe that's just how it's made. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Toothbrushes. Okay. And then one thing you should never buy at a gun show is ammo cans. They want $20 for an ammo can. Go to Harbor Freight. They literally have metal ammo cans for $10. So when people want $20 for an ammo can, cool, it was used in the military, but an ammo can is an ammo can, right? Okay. So start here. So we put that in, and then we got to seat this piece in too. There we go. There we go. I think this long Okay, so the top screw goes first, and then these ones that go through the bottom will actually get put in with the barrel on. So and you want to make sure that it's going in straight, because these two holes here are for the two screws on the side of the barrel next by the trigger. So we want to make sure that there we go. So now that's in there, we can put our two screws in there to secure it. Maybe this one goes in the front. And maybe this one goes right. Yeah, okay. So I had it wrong. So the short screw goes into the front. And then the long screw goes in the middle. Boom. Easy. All right. So now, because I'm not putting the foregrip on just yet, because I'm going to redo that one. We start by putting the stock hoop on, and it should find itself nice right there. Excellent. Damn it. Okay. You don't want to forget about this piece that goes into the stock. So guess what? We got to take this off. Gotta lift the barrel out. And we gotta put that retention clamp in there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's in there. So it went right here into the middle of the barrel. That honestly did not have any effect. But because I want to keep it as original as possible, okay, boom, excellent. Now we put the hoop on. Boom. On there. Now, the next part is, so with the bayonet lug. So we want to start with the bayonet lug on the top so it slides over the front sight. Then we turn it around. And then we put this piece in there. So now if we have a little trouble, I'm sure you could probably hit it a little bit, but this little spring underneath the bayonet lug right here, maybe you can see now, there's a little springy thing there. So we want to push that in, and we should get that piece where it needs to be. And there we go. Now we can take our cleaning rod, and so the thing is with the cleaning rod, you can just drop it in there and you can spin it all day, nothing's going to happen. But you want to push the spring in again, and then the cleaning rod will come out. So with the Japanese, they just drop it in and it's locked in. All right. Next, we can insert the bolt. So, we will get the bolt. Now, it may be a little tricky initially getting it back in, but this side right here, that's the bolt retainer. So we're gonna have to pull, like open it up to allow the bolt to get in there anyway. I can't remember how I did it the last time. Yeah. Kind of being stupid here, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun. There we go. All right, so bolt handle straight up, and then your little two grippers on the left. And then you pull the side out, and boom. And then dry fire. So anyway, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And then I'll see you on the next one.